the onus is on me to live up to my, my vows, my commitment. But if I am the kind of man who believes in, being in multiple relationship, or the kind of woman who believes in being in, multiple relationship with men, and everyone within that triangle, rectangle, trapezium, whatever it is, everyone is agreed, I have absolutely no problem with that. My main point has always been that the people in that relationship are open with one another. So if it is a monogamous relationship, the man and the woman know what they are committing to, know that this is what they both want. If it is a polygamous relationship, and by polygamous, I don't just mean a man, marrying several women at the same time. It could also be a woman.
The truth about life is that when we experience something and it's painful, it does not mean that necessarily, it does not necessarily mean that that thing that we did was wrong. Perhaps it is the way that we did it. And so I don't think that a monogamous marriage having issues is the reason why a polygamous one is better, because even a polygamous marriage, as we know, is fraught with issues. And so these days, when I am, for instance, in church and I hear people announce a marriage wedding going to take place and people are laughing and everybody's happy, I don't join anymore to do those celebrations, because to me, what floors my mind, the thoughts that flood my mind are things like, these people celebrating this announcement, did they pay attention to what I think is most important? These people that are making this choice to start living life together, did they make the right choice in choosing each other? Right? So it's not the excitement of we're going to have a wedding, we're going to have a marriage. It is what is going to be the result of the choices that they make. And I think that this is what we need to start to look at as a people. If we look at the foundations, that then we can expect to have better results. And when the thing fails, it is not that marriage itself is a problem.
We can talk of polygamy, but then we must talk about what is it that led to polygamy. You understand? There must be a reason. They have their reasons before they tripping into polygamy as at that time. You understand? Then if you look at those merits or their rationale or their reasons, now the question before us that those reasons, are they justified in this age and time?
You mentioned that some of our men are running towards the concept of polygamy.
Yeah.
They think going into polygamy means that maybe there's a bigger chance that you have a long-lasting marriage, a long-lasting relationship. So most men, like based on what I've heard so far, maybe some of them believe that the ways our ancestors practiced polygamy then, they had a more how would I say, the more stable family unit. And that monogamy, is a foreign concept that is not so good for the family unit. And most times our men, they just say men are polygamous in nature and so on and so forth. But me, I will not be saying I'll be speaking from my own personal perspective about this matter. As a traditionalist, I'll be speaking from the Yoruba traditional religion perspective of this situation.
Okay.
So now, according to the ways of our ancestors in Yoruba land, they did not just practice polygamy for polygamy's sake. The ways our men of these days are going about polygamy, that is not how our ancestors went about polygamy. Our men, they were not into all this men are polygamous in nature phrase that our men usually use these days to cheat and marry other wives behind their wife's back. No. These days, some of these men, they marry wives even behind their woman's back. So in fact, some wives, they realize their husbands married a new wife on social media, on blogs. They were not informed. That is not the way our ancestors practiced polygamy. Our ancestors did not marry another wife because they saw that she had a better shape and she has not given birth or she's more attractive. No. They didn't just marry women for their aesthetic value or whatever. They married a woman that would add value to their family. It was a sort of like a trade by barter sort of thing in most cases. Like, what do you have? What are you bringing to this family? And most times, it was these women themselves that married these new wives for their husbands. Because our women of those days, they were really hardworking. They had different businesses they were managing. Most of them, their husbands were farmers, but they were the ones handling the business side of it, marketing all these things, selling, going to the market. They had children to take care of. So sometimes when they felt as if, I'm getting this responsibility is too much, you go to work, take care of children, you come again, your husband wants to have sex, you are tired, they're like, okay, let me get a new wife. And they would get somebody that they can control, not that the husband will just go outside and go and marry one big woman that just come around and catching things, which is these days, even the women practicing the polygamy, they don't even understand what polygamy is all about. And this is why most single women and men don't even want to venture into polygamy because of the behavioral, the negative aspects of it that we do usually sexually portray the movies and so on. But all those times of ancestors, most times polygamy was not this way. It was practiced with an understanding. And all these children also, the love they had for themselves and their own children, which they gave it to, they transfer those love to the children also of their co-wives. Not that these days, even these days, our women are so wicked. So some of our women these days, they even maltreat their house selves, just because they were not the ones who gave it to the children. How much more the children of their co-wives?
Hello.
Some might even kill off. I'm telling you, spiritual warfare, physical, because they don't understand this concept.
Awesome.
And I would say the reason, okay, let me start from, is it everybody that must practice polygamy? The thing is that polygamy is not for everyone. This is what some of our men do not understand. And some of our women who always support and say polygamy. Even they themselves, just because I don't understand. The thing is, we should all see this thing as everyone has their own path to follow. Everyone has their destiny. In the first spirituality, we call it kadara and your more destiny. And that is what you have chosen as your destiny path in life. It is not everybody that we do well in a polygamous relationship.
I'm in love with this woman now.
Yeah? What did you say?
I said, I'm in love with this woman now. I'm in love with you now.
Thank you. Some will not do well in polygamy. And at the same time, some will do very well in polygamy. Some will not do well with monogamy. There's an Odufa we call Oyekumeji in the first spirituality. In this Odufa, Ifa is telling some men, especially those born with this Odu, there's a way we do it, but I don't want to go into that. But I'll just give you the information. In this Odufa Oyekumeji, Ifa says that it is better to have only one wife. Ifa says if you have two wives, you have double problems. Ifa says if you have three wives, the house becomes filled with negativity. If I begins to mention, like if you have from one wife down to like 8 wives, if I is telling us that monogamy is good, and it is, and at the same time, is this our ancestors through Ifa that also said in another Odufa called Ethiopian? For those who don't understand that not into traditional religion, this stuff I'm quoting from is like how we have a Christian Bible and the Muslim Quran. We also have what we also use as a guideline, to have a good life that we follow, that laid down by our ancestors. That's what we call Odufa. So that's where I'm getting this information I'm sharing now with you guys. So for Ethiopian, our ancestors told us that that you will not do well if you are born with this. You will not even do well with the monogamous relationship. Yes, you have issues, you have problems, you don't have a good life until you marry 2 wives. In fact, not just for the man, also for the women. Women born with this, sometimes they tend to have like 3 husbands. And that is why these days I just look at the way the society has turned out to be, When they see a single mother, they start to call her names. She's sleeping around, they see someone with like 3 children, 3 fathers. Sometimes it's what they have chosen, there's not anybody can do about it. But because they themselves don't understand, it makes the journey more difficult for them, they don't accept their lives. And sometimes these women, they don't plan to. It's as if they plan to I want to give birth for like several men. It just happens. Same with some women. Same with some men. They are single fathers, different children, different mothers. Sometimes it's their part. But why it is so for those men that they have several this just giving birth all around is because they refuse to embrace polygamy, which is where they would have found peace, acceptance, and they would have prospered well. But because they kept forcing themselves into monogamy, just because they said monogamy is better, they keep people in polygamy. So they begin to force themselves, but it does not work out. And they begin to create more problems for these children, because the family unit, you guys are meant to live together. That's where they practice polygamy. They let these children know themselves. But now the children are being raised by several mothers in different places. There's this hatred. My father likes this one. So all those things are the cause of most of the issues we are even having now in society. And there's some women too. I know some who ask that how come a woman cannot have like two husbands? No. In Yoruba spirituality, a woman can have several husbands, but the way it is practiced is different from the way a man will have several wives. The thing is that a woman, we have womb, we are the ones who bring children to the world. And because the family unit is so important, our ancestors made it so that a man cannot sleep with two men at the same time. Why? Not because most of our relationships and marriage keep failing these days, that we do not do proper investigation.
Oh my gosh.
We do not do proper investigation. We are meant to go places in life.
Oh my gosh. Fallen in love with her, Tony? The way you're smiling, Tony, have you fallen in love with her as well? Can't hear you. You're muted.
Very interesting points. I'm happy. Yes, very interesting points. I've enjoyed. I've thoroughly enjoyed the download of information I'm getting here.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much. So some of the men these women marry, they tend to, everybody should work on themselves individually. Don't go into a relationship or a marriage with a broken, how will I say it, with this, I don't know, when you yourself, you are not healed enough. Maybe you are healed from a trauma. Just work on yourself. Don't bring all your baggage on your partner and say, let them accept me the way I am. Life does not work like that. Everybody, when we were coming to this world, nobody brought I'm coming with my husband. And this is why now domestic violence is on the high rise. Because these people going through the marriage, having high hopes, and they get there, they are saying that this is not what I was promised.
Can we have data? Can we have statistics? When did polygamy become a way of life? At what point in the history of humanity can we really start analyzing polygamy from? Even in her comment, she pointed out that the ifat or the things they serve tell you that if you marry one wife, you have one problem. You marry two wives, you have two problems. Marry three wives, you heard her say that. Let us go back to the foundations and let us begin to analyze the origin of some of the concepts we are discussing. I preach from the Christian point of view. In the beginning, God made them male and female. In the very beginning, all the distractions that are coming in now was not intended. God's original intention was one man, one wife. Let me add some more points to it. Somebody mentioned some animals that are monogamous. Yeah? Typical example is the wolf. The wolf remains with one partner all through its life. Another example is the eagle. The eagle has an average life of 70 years. And the eagle stays in a relationship with one female eagle all through its life. And everything it does, in fact, if you study the history of eagles, there is a marriage celebration the eagle does. Oh, yeah.
You mentioned the wolf, which is very, very interesting, and then what you just said about the eagles. The humans belong to the
Yes.
mammals. The mammal species. That's what we belong to. There are about 4,000 in this group. Out of this 4,000, only about 5% or less, and this is according to evolutionary anthropologists, only about 5% of the 4,000 mammals that humans belong to practice monogamy. Just putting things in perspective. I just wanted to say that. You can go ahead.
Thank you very much for that information. But hear me out. You will know that when you study the Bible critically, the Bible isolates character traits with which it defines patterns. You see, the way God educates is that It's like when you go to Mercedes plant in Stuttgart, also in Germany. What they do is that they will pick out a Mercedes 200 that they're trying to produce, and they subject that single product to all manner of tests, to all manner of variables. Yeah. At the end of the day, when it has passed all through all those tests, they then feature it as a star product that they then do what? Mass produce. God's original intention was to raise a nation through Adam and Eve, single individual and his wife. He came back to the person of Abraham, that through Abraham he will raise a nation of kings and of priests unto himself. Abraham's wife suggested to Abraham that since she could not have a child, go and sleep with my maid and produce a child for us.
This, whatever you are doing, the anchoring of today, I don't think is fair. It's not balanced. You understand? Told you about this conversation. If you're going to have a conversation, our references, our preferences, you don't lord one over the other. I won't take that. I'm a Christian. It does not matter. Oh, look at somebody talked about Ifa, and the only thing the bishop could pick up was it was even contradictory to what she said. And whatever he's saying now, you are telling me that Abraham, I don't know Abraham. You are telling me Adam. That is not it. This is the reason why we all have been to school. This is an intellectual rigor. If you want to make your reference, it shouldn't be as if you are lording it over us. I don't agree with Adam. The primary research is faulty. The premises and the conclusion will be automatically faulty.
Are you as a woman?
So that's what I'm saying. If you're
the woman that loves sex a lot, she's always ready and dead. And you say, I have a friend like that. You married somebody that was into like package prostitution. But you married her. He said he thought he would change her. He married her. He fell in love with her. At the end of the day, they had 4 children. Out of the 4 children, 2 was his own, 2 was for neighbors and some people around. What is the path that you have chosen spiritually that you know that you have a balanced, peaceful life? Is it money? Is it monogamy? Is it polygamy? That is what each of us should find out. Thank you.
Relationship 101.
So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to have this kind of discussion, look at now. The lady came out with one perspective that I've never had in my life. That some people are destined to be polygamous, while some are destined to be monogamous, even if they are from Ifa. That's very interesting. I've never thought of that. Even if they are traditionally, the Ifa does not give everybody liberty to do that. And the same Bible that you are referencing gave some people. Hold on. Hold on. I'm not against the opinion. You are not getting my. You are not getting my drift.
I told you of the woman who the man does not talk to her, does not touch her. He has all sorts of sex paraphernalia in the house, and they live together. They're getting upset.
I'm not upset, but you of all people know that. You of all people. Okay, sir. Polygamy, I'm a monogamist too. My wife is at home. And everything. That's everything dinner.
You're getting upset.
I'm getting what? Marry 6 wives. We have that ability to marry 6 wives.
Most important in this way. Why can't you allow other people to talk and then you will talk? Why?
All right, I'll allow you. Okay, I'll allow you.
Thank you. I was saying something and you were forcing me to say that.
I have zipped my mouth, madam. I have zipped my mouth. All right.
Or whether you practice Hinduism or Buddhism, as long as you have a working brain and a heart. That's all. That's all I need.
Shaya, do you want to respond to that?
I will submit.
Shaya, you want to respond to what Bishop said? Because I want to respond. I'm just waiting for you to
Why are you waiting for me? If you want to talk, go ahead and talk. What's my own? You are waiting for me. So that you can't tell me again, Abby. Anyway, Bishop.
Oh my God.
I said
that you're going
this subject matter.
That one, please? Shaya, can we finish?
Hold on now. I want to talk about that one. That one, go. Now I want to talk about.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Allow him.
No, Bishop, please, you need to talk to this moderator. Did you drink energy drink today? Or coffee?
I'm hungry.
In fact, I've lost my trajectory now. I've never found that. I have never seen that. I have never seen that.
Never seen what?
Yes. Now, what I'm trying to say is that Wait,
No, I
you
haven't
don't
finished.
say,
I won't allow you to interrupt me. Excuse me, please. I was making a
all
list.
right,
I said that
Muslim.
my grandparents' marriages lasted 8 years and
Hold
100
on
years.
now.
That does
Wait,
not mean that they were happy
hold
marriages. So
on.
you can't use that as a.
Hold on. That's not what I'm saying. That's
That's
what
what
I'm
you're saying.
saying. Hold on. What I'm saying is, no, hold on. What I'm saying is this, that the Muslims, practicing Muslims, the women are okay.
They are
My
keeping
husband
quiet.
is
That
gonna
is
maybe
all. It doesn't mean that they're okay with it.
hold
Just
on.
quiet.
It's because I'm saying, oh no, hold on. I have seen instances that the wife brought in another wife for their
Who
husband.
maybe they have seized their
Yes.
children from them, right? Who maybe they stopped allowing them to have sexual intimacy. And they start to think, if I had several women with me as my wives, I will not be going through this. Therefore, polygamy is good. Therefore, polygamy is the right thing. This is what you find. These are some of the motivations for these things. But what we need to now talk about is, what is the effect on the women that you're talking about? How would you feel, right? Your daughter is there and she has to be doing psychological gymnastics with all these other women. Are those other women also able to manage this relationship? I am not going to sit here and say polygamy is bad. Honestly, don't misunderstand me. Because I'm a woman, you're going to
That is what
assume.
you are saying. That is exactly what
No,
you are
I
saying.
am not that person. I'm not that person.
You
I'm
have
not that
created premises. When you created premises, subconsciously, subliminally, you are making people to reach a conclusion.
excuse me. I did say some minutes ago that I could be in a polygamous marriage. Did you not hear when I said that?
Sheye has one beautiful wife.
No,
Uzo
no, no.
cannot be. I don't care what she says here. Uzo cannot marry. Is it two husbands or in fact,
No, you can't
or a second
assume on
wife?
my behalf. You can't assume on my behalf. You
How
Of
can
can't
I
course,
assume
of
on?
because
course.
no,
Okay,
you can't
Sheye,
because
she's saying that we cannot assume on her behalf. Is that correct?
you can't. You know why?
We can assume on your
Because
behalf.
because
We can.
because
You want Fela?
okay.
Look at.
But the
Oh,
thing is, you cannot
This
find
is
those
becoming
men.
funny.
Those men are one in a million. That's a man who knows what
you
he
understand?
wants.
These are the kind of people
Uzo,
that
look
like
at him.
they tell you, I'm
A
married
man
to
who
Jesus.
knows
Oh,
what
I'm
he
married to
wants.
Jesus. What
Don't
is it
bring
going to
that
say? I'm
thing,
married to
Uzo.
Jesus, and you
Because
want
all
to
of you
marry
are
Fela?
worshiping,
You see,
your neighbors. You are
the
worshiping
issue
your
is that
neighbors.
we
You of all the men in this country, it's only Fela. Oh, this woman.
Uzo is just trying to make sound bites. Let's go beyond what makes sense and what
Argument.
looks. What are we wasting our time for?
Uh,
Now, when push comes to shove,
exactly, sir.
this Uzo that I'm seeing here
Aha.
will not be a polygamist.
Did
You
you not
see,
hear it?
You won't do that.
is
You will not do that.
You
my
see?
child.
The late fella, it's
Oh
only late
my!
fella that
No,
you. That means you are
no,
not serious.
no, no, no.
All this, all
Uh,
these things. I know that Uzo will never have married a fella.
I didn't say that I want
never.
it.
She will never do that.
I can swear on that. I
No, I
can
don't
swear
like. You
on
know
that.
what I don't like? I don't like people giving me a quality that I will show tomorrow that I don't have. Don't assume. I am capable of what I am capable of. Allow me to be who I am. And let me show
We are
you.
saying
Have
Ade.
you learned anything? Have you learned anything new today, Bishop? That you can accept that actually
You see,
maybe I never thought about this, and this makes sense
whether
to
it
me.
is open
Have you?
relation. Oh, by the way, Tony, what do you mean open relationship? Maybe I don't know that one.
No, that's not,
And
let's not digress.
each
Let
time I
us
ask a
stick with
question,
let us
they will
stick with our
divert it like
topic.
a bullet. You
Let
see?
me answer. Let me answer it. Open
Okay.
relationship is when you have a partner, but they know that you have other alliances. To their knowledge, you have other alliances.
Look, man, what do you mean open relationship? What do you mean all these things we are discussing? You are simply unfaithful.
Marriage, a lot of the marriages that you call monogamous,
Yeah,
they are the
yeah,
people involved, the man and the woman, are in
yeah.
sexual
Okay.
polygamy. This is
Okay.
the
You come
fact.
with facts now. You've
This
come
is
with
the
facts
fact.